Hey, I'm Gal Level, and all my life I've wanted to be in a position where I would get to be creative for the majority of my time, and I would get to practice something that I'm passionate about, where I could use all the skills that I spend time learning.
So in this video, I'd like to tell you about a couple things I wish I knew when I was starting out.
All right, let's jump right into it. The beginning. This is the phase where you just started, or maybe you're thinking about starting. All right. So first things first, you're going to be watching a bunch of tutorials. You're going to be watching a bunch of tips and tricks. You're going to be watching videos that are saying, hey, how to get into YouTube or Twitch or TikTok, whatever the content you're trying to produce. And I'm here to tell you that over planning is very ignorant, unintelligent, not the way to go. Basically, spending your time doing all of that is like, it's fine to know the basics. All you need to know is like, how are you going to edit your videos? If you're going to make videos, how are you going to install OBS Studio and start broadcasting? If you're going to be a live streamer, that's pretty much all you need to know to start. Once you started, then you can, step by step learn more and more and more. But if you're learning, first of all, you're not going to remember all of the information that you're taking in before you start. That's for sure. That's for certain. And most of the stuff that you're going to see won't actually apply to you. I always say this, there is no amount of theoretical work that will prepare you for the practice. The practice is where you will actually gain knowledge and skills and experience, not through watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Something else, neglecting your branding is actually pretty bad. You kind of want to start off with like a vague idea or a vague display of a little bit of branding. Usually it starts with colors. Pick 2 colors and then run with them. Okay, this is yours for at least for that specific channel. I run a movie review channel where my branding, believe it or not, is completely red. I run a tech channel where my branding is completely blue. But when people see this color combination, they know it. Like they think about me. Some software actually put this color combination as like filters and call it like the Guile level effect. I don't own those colors. But if you're starting out, you're in a period where you want people to remember you at all costs. You want people to remember your name. You want people to remember your face if you do show your face. And branding really helps with that, right? Just a couple colors, maybe a specific style, and then boom, you help people memorize your brand. It might be the best job in the world, but at the end of the day, you cannot always do what you please. People describe content creation as turning something you love into a job or something like that, a hobby or a passion into a paying job. It's not always like that. It's usually a lot of compromise before you can get to the point where you genuinely enjoy a part of it, like a chunk of it, maybe 50% of it. It's never as easy as, this is specifically what I love to do, and I'm just gonna do that. If I tell you, hey, I will pay you money to travel all around the world and write blogs about certain places. It sounds amazing, right? Especially if I'm offering you a lot of money. But the truth is, there will be parts that you absolutely despise about that job. Maybe it's the writing part that you don't like. Maybe when you write it, your supervisor is gonna be like, I don't like your writing. It's gonna make you write that thing over and over and over and over again until it's really, really perfect or even completely weird. And that's when they publish it. Maybe you don't like I don't know, having to take pictures while you're on vacation. Maybe you don't like the fact that when you get sick, they don't care. They still want you to go out to the beach and take. I'm freestyling examples here, but basically it's not just doing what you love when what you love is not fully monetizable. When you want to do something as a job, you end up in a job situation. Somehow there will be stuff that you absolutely despise, but you will still do them because you will have that privilege of doing that part that you love also. Right? But it's not 100% pleasure. You're not going to be on vacation for the rest of your life. At least capitalism doesn't work like that, I will say. This one might be a little contradictory to the first point where I was like, oh, over planning is not smart. But studying the market, I think after a while, at least having an idea of the market is important. Like to me, if you're going to pick a niche or if you want to do some types of videos, you should at least know like who's the top 5 people in this specific niche. right? Who will do content that is maybe like slightly related to what you're gonna do. Like you should know what's going on. You should know, and of course, like the market, it's not just learning about other content creators. It's like, what do people love about those channels? Those top 5, what do people love about them? People who are, I don't know, passionate about a specific niche, passionate about that specific thing. What do they love? What do they hate? What are they opposed on, basically? What are they, what's the word I'm looking for? Separated. Controversy. Whatever. You should know all of that. Studying the market is one of the first steps of coming up with a business plan, but we're talking about like a content plan here. Don't spend too much time on it, but figure out a little bit before you get into it, you know, but even while you're getting into it, honestly, it's fine. Ooh, this one. The goal should be sustainable quantity and monetization when you're starting. And of course, like I'm saying this is stuff that I wish I knew. This is stuff that I wish someone told me. The reason why you want sustainable quantity is because you want to be like, the truth is, when it comes to content creation, quantity will always be better than quality. But believe it or not, I'm not saying you can't have quality. I'm not saying put out the worst type of content out there, but I'm saying that if you post 1 video per year, the chances of you being monetized in the next 5 years are extremely low. Also, there's the whole perfection thing where you think that you at your first video, like your only practice is 1 single video, you think that in 1 year you can produce something that is amazing enough to give you all the praise that more than someone who's just starting would produce 1 video per day. Like you're delusional. You're straight up delusional if that's what you think. At the end of the day, if this video is your first video, after 1 year, your video will still not be good enough to achieve the goals that you're looking for. It's better for you to produce 100 crappy, unwatchable videos. You will be closer to your goals when it comes to being monetized, being part of the YouTube Partner Program, for example. Same thing for live streaming, I would say. If you're starting to stream and you know, you're preparing the perfect stream and then you just end up having 2 viewers for that stream. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. So sustainable quantity. So you need to find how much can you produce without going wild, but all physically, but also mentally. You need to find where it's sustainable. This is how much I can produce if I'm really giving it my all. And the reason why I say monetization is also one of the goals that you should be having straight from the beginning is because it's the great motivator. Monetization, nothing will motivate you more than when you put out something and then you get results in the form of money. Honestly, maybe that's just a me thing, but again, those are things that I wish I knew before a content creator. I was really pushing for monetization when I was starting, which was good, but I didn't know how it felt. I really did not know how it, like, part of my brain was telling me that I will never get monetized, right? Part of me was telling me that it would never happen, that it was impossible for me to just, you know, decide to put something out in the world and then get compensated for it. And when it happened, I think my first check, because I got kicked out of the partner program at first because YouTube was changing their rules. My first check was for 63 cents. And I was so happy that I cried because it felt real. That's when it really felt real. It was like, oh, this dream is possible. So that's why I say go for monetization, because when the result of your hard labor comes in the form of a check, all of a sudden you have the big motivation to do everything. All right. The middle of it, or if you started posting content and you're starting to learn and stuff, you're not an expert yet, but you're getting there. You're starting to get a couple subscribers, you're getting views and all that stuff. Okay. In my case, I'm mostly a YouTuber, so this is mostly gonna sound like YouTuber stuff, but editing is not what makes a video interesting. Believe it or not. Editing is not the core of your video. You can have an interesting video without any fancy editing. You're looking at one right now. Just like you can have an amazingly well edited video that's absolutely boring and you just can't stand it, right? But also the idea of editing for a lot of beginner content creators, editing in their heads is like edits, what people call edits, which is basically videos with a bunch of fancy transitions and text popping up on screen and a bunch of colors. And that's not good editing. Good editing is being able to tell a story from start to finish and keep it enticing. You watch movies, for example, you watch TV shows. the most used transition is going to be a cut. And then the story that's being told and the way it's presented is going to determine if that show or that movie is interesting to watch or not. Not everything needs to be edited like a music video, okay? If you're doing music videos, that's a whole different thing. Then you need to keep it engaging, and you can flash a bunch of stuff on screen. That's great. I recently tested something where I put gameplay to see if it would give me more audience retention. That video is one of my best performing videos right now. Well, granted, I don't have a lot of well performing videos nowadays, but still. All right, still on the subject of editing, not improving your workflow is the only thing that makes editing difficult. The blah blah that you hear a lot from content creators is, oh, I would love to be a content creator, but editing is so hard, or I'm struggling to edit. Oh, I don't like editing. Oh, editing is so time consuming. And the truth is, it is those things when you edit one time and you stop, or the next time you edit, you do the exact same things. Let me try to find some sort of analogy. Let's say you're baking a cake. You're making a cake for the first time, and then for some reason, you didn't do enough research, or you don't have the experience to figure out like how long to keep it baking, and then you burn the cake, right? And on top of that, you put too much sugar, right? And then the next time you go to bake that cake, you put the exact same amount of sugar. You let that cake the same amount of time in the oven. You would say that baking cakes is difficult, because you're not learning anything. That's the problem. After editing your first video, your first 2-3 videos, you're supposed to go look up, okay, surely that's not how every editor is doing it. What are some tips and tricks and techniques that they're using to actually go faster? Is there any techniques that automate maybe some of the stuff, or maybe they rewatch the videos like faster. Maybe they have specific keyboard shortcuts that will simplify the clicking on the tools, going to cut, clicking on the select the thing, delete the thing, click the empty space, delete the empty space. I have one keyboard shortcut that does all of that. Yeah, but I work with 4K footage and it's very, very slow on my computer. Learn to use proxies. It's like, oh, look at that. Wow, someone who edits all the time actually has solutions to all the problems that you have. Those are the things that you're supposed to learn, is instead of looking up, oh, how do I do fancy transition? No. To give you a brief little story, I used to be like a professional, well, I'm still a professional editor, but I used to be a professional editor for music videos, ads, short documentaries, and things like that. And I thought when I became a YouTuber, I thought that my knowledge of making, I can make music videos. I actually used to specialize in VFX. So I can do VFX, I can do music videos, ads, and all. I thought all those skills, all of those would help me so much. I thought, oh, I'm about to be the best YouTuber. I know editing. I can do fancy stuff. That's my whole thing, doing things. I had to relearn everything. Because it had nothing to do with being like an editor for music videos. If I wanted to be a consistent, productive YouTuber, I needed to learn how to edit like a YouTuber, record and also edit like a YouTuber. It had none of, well, I'm not going to say none of it. None of it came through, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's a different thing. So anyways, all that to say, workflow is the most important thing. There's doing something for the first time. It's not the way it is the first time. The first time you're ignorant, you don't know anything. That's it. Being a good editor is not necessarily knowing how to do all the fancy effects. Being a good editor sometimes is being able to edit a video as fast as possible so that you can put that stuff out, so that you can move on to the next video. And if that means just doing cuts, little zoom in, and that's it, that's what you gotta do. Honestly, if we're talking about YouTube, that's mostly what it is. It's like, oh, you just zoom in a little bit from time to time. That's it. I have presets. I don't even do the zoom in manually. I don't go in and type, oh, scale this up or position. I have presets, drag and drop. That's how fast it is. Anyways, still in the middle of it. Some YouTube extensions are actually pretty useful. I personally use vidIQ. I know TubeBuddy is another one. I don't know all of them, but TubeBuddy and vidIQ. I've never used TubeBuddy itself, but I heard it's similar. vidIQ was absolutely helpful to the point where for some time, for years actually, I paid for for the paid version. I was paying like $12 a month, and it was worth it. It was completely worth it when I wanted to look up for keywords, when I wanted to search for trends, when I wanted to get ideas. Now they have a bunch of AI powered stuff that will analyze your channel. They will even generate like thumbnails for you. So I would say that it's worth it. It's worth it. Not necessarily because of the information, but of course, that's the main thing. It's the information that they'll give you. But also sometimes when you feel lost, it's good to have a place that kind of knows your channel, that you can go and actually get some ideas and get inspiration. They have this thing where you can put competitors, or you can put people who are in the same niche, and it will tell you their stats. It will tell you like how much reach they're getting in the past 7 days or in the past 10 days. So you can kind of analyze if, you know, your whole niche is going down or up, or if it's like specific types of videos that they're posting. It helps you keep up basically with your specific industry. Now, that being said, it's not perfect. You still need to have a little bit of critical thinking and also research skills, but it's a big help. It's a big help. I know that every time I feel completely lost with YouTube and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna work, what's not gonna work, I need ideas, blah, 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 I just hop on my vidIQ account and it helps. I'll come out of there with a bunch of ideas. Talking about data, competitive research, I yap about this a lot. Competitive research is very, very simple. You usually go and find the 5 people that I talked about in your specific niche, and then you go look at what worked for them. So you go, let's say you write down their 5 most popular videos. Don't just write it down physically. Just take a screenshot, put it in a private Discord or something, because you want to look at the thumbnails, you want to look at the titles, and then you also want to look at their worst performing videos. Basically, it's a shortcut in this specific niche to know, hey, here's what seems to work. Here's what seems to not work at all. Here's what people don't seem to want to see in this niche. And here's what people absolutely can't get enough of. So that helps you a lot. Make sure you do it with multiple people. So like I always say, top 5, so that you kind of get a vague idea of the trend in general, not just based on one person. Because if it's just one person, maybe that person was just bad at this thing, and it's not necessarily that the market doesn't want it, you know? Ooh, something else. The very ironic, the influencer BS is what I wrote down here. There's a bunch of stuff that influencers will tell you that are not necessarily true or untrue, is that they don't necessarily apply to your specific case. But well, first of all, you need to understand all advice is good advice. Not all advice is for you, right? I can say, hey, what can I say? I can say, hey, don't show your face. And for some people out there, it's great advice. They actually might be more, I don't like, this is an extreme example. But anyways, I think gear is going to be the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to like, don't listen to influencers. Influencers get a lot of emails, a lot of propositions. Every time a new company comes with a new thing, they're going to be like, hey, we can give it to you for free if you do a review, or we'll even pay you, or we have an affiliate like program. You can join it so that if you promote it, then you might make some money. So it creates an incentive and a way for influencers to just do the review. I'm not going to say positive things, but at least to let you know about this thing. And if you know you're easily influenced, you might feel like every week there's something new that you need as a content creator. And it's not true. Like, it's really not true. The amount of things that you can create with like the minimum amount of gear is infinite. Actually, it's completely infinite. People are having like gold YouTube plaques and having like an old GoPro or an old iPhone 4 or something. Like, I wanted to buy an iPhone 4 at some point because of a YouTuber that does like car YouTube thing, and I was like, damn, what is this quality? And then I found out it was an iPhone 4 the whole time. Anyways, all that to say, the whole gear thing, and it's easy for me to be like, oh, gear doesn't matter, and you see a DSLR and you feel like I have a lot of gear. But again, I've been a full-time content creator for the past 8 years. About before that, I was a professional photographer. I told you I used to shoot like music videos and all that. So when it comes to gear, for the past 15 years of my life, I've been gathering, I've been saving up and all that stuff. That doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy, like $100,000 worth of gear to become a content creator. It doesn't work like that. Also, most of the gear that I got, like that I have now, was just sent to me for free. So I didn't have to pay for most of the stuff that I use that I have right now. I got it because I already put in the work. And the company saw that, collabs. I don't want to go outright and say, hey, collabs don't help, right? Because that wouldn't be true. But I know that when you look up how to become, how to grow a YouTube channel, how to grow a Twitch channel, how to grow on TikTok, one of the points that people say a lot is like collabs. So it creates this distort reality that, collabs will basically boost you up and all you have to do is collab with someone bigger than you. It's not true. Honestly, it's not. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The percentage of people who might migrate to your content from a collab is not as high as you might think, right? It's kind of like the whole, if you're a Twitch streamer and you want traffic to your Twitch stream, just put out content on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. You should do those things, but you should also understand that the conversion rate is very, very, very small. Right? Most likely someone who's scrolling down TikTok is scrolling down TikTok to scroll down TikTok. They're not looking for the perfect TikTok that will bring them to another platform where they will sit for hours and watch one single streamer. It doesn't necessarily work like that. Some people might be interested if they're already active on Twitch. Anyways, I'm rambling. So collabs is something that's a little blown out of proportion, I would say, when it comes to the tips. And then another one, a final one for the tips that you shouldn't necessarily listen to is the be yourself, have fun, and then the rest will follow. No, I refuse. I refuse. I don't like this tip at all because we all know someone that is absolutely boring, that walks into a room and just sucks the energy out of it. And you're going to tell that person, hey, just be yourself. If that person says, hey, I want to be an entertainer, I want to be an internet personality, you would tell that person, just, how you are at parties? Be exactly like that. And the rest will follow. Not everyone is naturally interesting or entertaining or you want to listen to, you want to sit down and listen to for hours. So that might be one thing that they want to work on. Some people, there's so many things that you can work on. It's weird to say just be yourself. It sounds great. I understand the motivational aspect of it because it sounds amazing. I can sit here and be like, hey, you are perfect. You're the best person in the world. So just be exactly yourself, and then you'll see all the grace in the world, all the best things, all the gifts will just fall upon you. Or what we're manifesting? What's going on? No, work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Watch your videos back. Watch your VODs if you stream, and then find little thing that you might find annoying, first of all, and then work on them. Work on them. You say a lot. Work on that. Next time you're gonna actually before the next time you're gonna record, try to hold a conversation in front of a camera without the camera rolling, and try avoid saying You practice, and guess what? You become better. Not only as a content creator, but since we're talking about content creation and being an online personality and entertainer, that means that you just become, as a person, a more interesting person in general, a more entertaining person, a more fascinating person. When you walk into a room at a party and there's an entertainer in there, you can immediately tell they are the most interesting person. They are, well, sometimes they're the loudest, the most obnoxious, but it doesn't matter. It's not what I'm saying. But there's no downside to working on how you express yourself to the world. I had to check my OBS to make sure I didn't click start streaming. Just right now, I got a little paranoia there. Anyways, so don't be yourself. Be a better version of yourself. Be a version of yourself that just keeps improving and improving and improving and improving. All right, final thing for the middle of it is having extra skills, aka being as versatile as possible. You are worth something at this point, right? You're a content creator. You're not quite established yet, but you're doing the do, right? You can edit videos, you can record videos, but you want to, I'm not going to say perfect. I don't want to use the word perfect, but you want to work on those skills. You want to refine them so that you can essentially sell them if you have to. Essentially sell them. Because one thing that happens when you are in that part of content creation is that some people will try to buy you, like straight up. Some people will try to buy you. Some companies might even want you to straight up quit your channel and go work for them on their channel forever. they'll slap you with like a price that's, you know, a little bit above minimum wage, make it sound really appealing, and then you just give up your career for a paying job, right? The better you are, the more versatile you are, the more is going to happen. Therefore, the more you'll be able to filter, right? The whole imposter syndrome thing is not necessarily going to happen if you know your worth. That's not true. You're still going to feel imposter syndrome. What I'm trying to say is, at this point, I would like for you as a content creator, no matter what platform you're on or whatever, you should be able to edit a thumbnail. It doesn't have to be the best thumbnail in the world, but you should be able to edit a thumbnail. You should be able to feel comfortable on camera, or at least if someone commissions you to, I don't know, make a quick video talking about this product, here's $100,000. You should be able to do it. You should be able to edit that video and ship that video. Have a thumbnail for it already. If a company is like, hey, I love your community, can we send you a product? Just do a giveaway, just do a quick graphic to announce the giveaway. You should be able to do that graphic. Again, doesn't have to be the best, right? So freelance videos, freelance graphic design in a way, well, you're not going to be paid for the graphic design itself. But anyways, we're going to send you a product. We would like for you to do a quick video review of that product. You got to be able to do a little tech review video. Hey, we would love to interview you, and we're going to put it in our podcast. Great exposure for your channel. Can you send over like a headshot, a quick picture of yourself? Guess what? You got to be able to take a decent picture of yourself, believe it or not. So those are things that might be in your future. So you need to start thinking about them right now. And then final one is speaking on stage is something that creators do all the time, I have been flown out multiple times now to speak on stage. And I'm like, this is not something that I necessarily advertised on my YouTube channel. I'm not like, hey guys, I'm a motivational speaker, blah, blah, blah. Companies usually reach out to me and they're like, hey, we'll fly you to this country or for this convention. Would you like to do like a talk or something like that? And I just happen to be like, oh yeah, sure. If you're not comfortable with that, you're like, oh my God, this is on stage. Oh, I never made it past the shyness of college when I used to present in front of the, it's okay. You can refuse, by the way. I'm not saying like you have to, but if it's something that you want to be able to do, you need to start thinking about it. In a way, right? You need to start maybe practicing, and you need to, if you want to put all, how do I put it? All the chances on your side. If you want to really be able to profit off of every opportunity, you need to be versatile like that. And it's just a good thing, because if you are that versatile, you will never have to worry about your career for the rest of your life, mostly, right? If something doesn't work out, you'll be able to fall back onto something else. Also, when it comes to monetization avenues, that gives you so many options. So many options. It's almost like you'll be confident that you'll never starve. Like you'll never be in a position where you just run out of money, because you can always do freelance this and freelance that and freelance this and freelance that. So it's cool to be able to do all those things that usually companies, the ones giving you the big bucks, will ask of you, right? Now, of course, I know a lot of VTubers here are watching the video, probably commenting already that, well, no, I wouldn't go on stage, and all advice is good advice. Not every advice applies to you. But in general, when companies think of content creators, those are the things that they usually expect. Hey, we have a video we have a collaboration with this other company. We want someone to just announce the collaboration. Can you ship the video next week? Film yourself, just talk about it. We'll send you some products maybe to show in the video. We'll send you the graphics and all that. Can you have the video up by next week? And you got to be able to be like, that's what I do. That's recording and editing and posting videos. That's what I do. That's my job. And companies will be like, okay, how much money you want for that? And then you set the price. You tell them, hey, you know what? To make it worth my time, here's a huge amount. Take it or leave it. All right, I actually yapped way longer than I thought, so I'm going to try to speed up. I'm going to try. Establish. Now you're at the point where, okay, you have, like, technically you're making maybe a good amount of money. Maybe you're monetized at this point, maybe not. But you're good. Like, you're confident in your ability to do stuff, right? To put out content, to stream, to publish videos, and all that good stuff, right? Now, what are some things that I wish I knew before I was a content creator? I'd say that time management would be such an issue. I wish I knew that time management would be such an issue, because I never imagined myself being like ultra busy to the point where I really, really need to pick and choose carefully what I say yes to, because it might not be worth it. Time is very, very, very finite. The time that I have in a day, very extremely, extremely finite. So managing your time is very, very important. Absolutely important. And that comes with what you say. We're going to talk about the yes and no later, but that mostly comes with what you agree to and what you disagree to do. Depending on your financial situation, I would say money is going to be a huge factor between, you know, what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So productivity is going to have this aspect of, I should be making the thing that brings me the most money, or I should be doing the thing that brings me the most joy. I should be doing the thing that I feel the most relaxed, the most comfortable with, or I should be doing the hardest thing because that's the thing that brings the money. Like, you need to really, really think about like how you manage your time. One of the biggest things that I realized when I started like becoming a full-time content creator is how much I lacked discipline. My whole life, you know, going to school is usually your parents, you know, dress you up, they send you to school, and then you go to school and then they tell you, hey, here's the class, this is the time it is, blah, blah, blah. You get punished if you arrive late or blah, blah, blah. So all of your life, even in adulthood, you show up to a job at a specific time, you get punished if you show up late too many times, you get scared, you get threatened, and all that stuff. It's very difficult for you to have this own self-discipline of, I'm going to wake up and treat my content creation journey like a job. I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. and then I'm going to work from 9 to 5, and then I'll take breaks, and then I'll watch videos or watch movies at night. I'll do my little entertainment part. It's extremely difficult, especially when you're doing something that you enjoy, that you love. I love like being on social media. I love posting stuff. So sometimes people tell me, what do you do for fun? And I have to find something that doesn't sound like work, aka creating content. And it's difficult because I enjoy creating stuff and posting them online. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. So in order to take a break from YouTube, I might stream on Twitch, you know. Anyways, all that to say, time management is a skill that I still don't utilize to its fullest. I still struggle with. It's the hardest thing when it comes to discipline and time management. Ooh, okay. The importance of keeping up with trends and adapting. Something else that I really, really struggle with. The landscape is forever changing all the time, no matter what niche you are, even more if you don't have a niche, because at the end of the day, you need to find something that works, right? You have to adapt. Although, first of all, you have to jump on trends. Like, you have to. Some people will tell you, well, I don't jump on. I saw vidIQ posted something earlier that was like, oh, like most people don't jump on trends. They create their own trends. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking? What is more common? If everyone every day was creating their own trends, like there wouldn't be trends actually. Those would not be called trends. No, there are trends all the time, and people are jumping on them all the time. People are getting known or getting their name out there because of thanks to trends. But also, if the trends like really align with what you're already doing, it's not a bad thing. People tend to think that it's a bad thing to always be jumping on trends. It's really not. It's like it's like an instant relatable content, basically, to jumping on trends. You know, oh, this thing is popular, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this creator is doing that thing. Oh, I know what he's doing. Oh, let me watch this whole thing. Oh, let me see how he puts his own spin onto it. You know, it's not a bad thing to jump on trends. Actually, I would say it's crucial to be jumping on trends all the time. Again, something that I struggle with. Also adapting, of course. Yeah, the landscape is changing. Sometimes, you know, your niche is like dying sometimes. Or, you know what, like, I don't know, your account is dying because the algorithm like got confused and thinks that you make a different type of video or different types of streams and blah, blah, blah. And moving on sometimes is super, super crucial. I'm talking to myself right now. Well, it's just not working out, where you're struggling you're fighting for views and things like that. It's very, very, very difficult. And it's not necessarily because, you know, people just don't watch you anymore, but sometimes like you just don't get the reach that you used to, and you got to try something else, especially if, you know, you're already doing it full time at this point and your livelihood depends on it. You can't stay attached to one fading industry forever. All right, something else. 99% of offers are bad. They are not good. I would say 99.9% of offers are so bad. I don't even know how many emails I get every day. They're all bad. They're all bad. Sometimes people are like, oh, I haven't seen you do like a sponsored stream or something like that, or a sponsored video in a while. Are you not getting offers anymore because your numbers are declining or whatever? And I'm like, no. I get the offers. The offers are not interesting. They're not good. They're not like, some of them don't even make sense, right? Companies will put you on a list, and then, you know, every company will email you from that list, and the next thing that I'm gonna talk about more about it. But anyways, 99% of offers are bad. If the offer is vague, that's a pre-indicator that the offer is bad. If someone absolutely asks you to talk in Discord to tell you about the offer and won't give you any details whatsoever, they're preying on your curiosity to get you to accept a potentially bad deal. Here's an example, okay? I have $1 million for you to say the word yo on a mic. Okay, let's say some company gives me a budget of $1 million if I can get one of you to say yo on a mic and send it to me. It's a lot of money for little effort, right? It's a very, very good deal for the person saying yo. Guess how I would advertise this deal if I DM'd you about this? Guess what I would say for you to say yes? I would say, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million if you say yo on a mic and send it to me. Are you interested? You know what I wouldn't say? Yo, I got a great opportunity. We got to talk about this opportunity. Is there anywhere I can DM you, or can you hop on a call so I can? No, I would lead with how advantageous that opportunity is. Or, you know, if we're being fair, I would lead by, hey, here's how much money I have. Here's my budget. Here's the product that I want from you. A fair exchange. If the exchange is fair, that's how you're supposed to lead with it. If it's not fair, I'm going to play all sorts of weird gymnastics and be like, yo, hop on a Discord call. Yo, I want you to talk to my manager first. My manager also needs to talk to you on Discord. And I know some companies are watching right now and they're like, oh, we do that, but we're not trying to scam anyone. It's like, yeah, your method sucks, man. Your method sucks. You're wasting my damn time. If I spend 1 hour with you on Discord and I spend another hour with your other colleague on Discord just to tell me that you have money to give me to do something that I do, aka, I don't know, record videos and talk about a product that I'm familiar with and then post it, you're wasting my time. That's 2 hours that I'm not paid for. And you're making me want to charge you way more next time because you're wasting my time. Anyways. I know so many companies are going to be mad when they watch this video, but it's true. It's true. I do this all the time. When you hire an electrician, you're not like, yeah, let's go grab a coffee first so we can talk. No, they know their job. It might be the first time for you hiring someone, but they're doing it like they've done it 1,000 times. They know how it works. They know how to give you the best results. Okay. So just trust them. It's simple. Hey, I want you to make a video. Here's how much money I have. Okay. Is there any details? Put them in writing. In one single message, it's sufficient. Anyways, if the offer is not presented to you that way, most likely the offer is not great. If the offer is extremely vague, most likely, again, I'm saying most likely, it's kind of like my allegedly, you know, no guarantees. Most likely the offer is bad. DM for a price, offer is bad, horrible, scam, don't do it. Anyways, moving on ish. Well, I think I can even skip this one because I think I said my piece. The thing that I have written down here is you are you are worth more than companies think you are or make you out to be, right? For example, when companies are like, hey, can you make a video about our product, blah, blah, blah. If they wanted to make that video and post it, they would have to hire a crew, a videographer, rent lights, rent the space where the video would be shot, pay an actor to be the face of the thing, and then pay an editor to edit the whole video, because usually actors don't freaking edit their videos. And then if you're going to post it on your channel to your public and advertise to your audience, they would have to pay ads to put that video in front of people. And On top of that, the ads wouldn't have the impact that you're gonna have on your audience because they're ads. We see ads all the time. We skip them. We don't necessarily skip an endorsement from our favorite creator, especially if it's done right. So if you have any friends that work in the media, or if straight up like contact a company and try to get a quote to have a video like that made, it's tens of thousands of dollars. And small YouTubers are doing it out here like for a couple $100, not even $50. I know YouTubers that are doing that stuff for $50. No, I won't tell you who they are. Stop exploiting us. Next point. Say no. Just say no, but not just to companies. Say no to people. Say no to DMs. Ignore your DMs. There's a point where you're gonna have to ignore your DMs because your DMs are only gonna be requests from strangers. It's only gonna be people that want something from you, right? You're gonna get the occasional, hey, your stuff is good. I just want to say thank you for your stuff. It's amazing. I love it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, most of the time you're gonna get those. It's going to be followed up by, but can you? Hey, can you? I was wondering if you could, and you just gotta say no. Well, actually, you don't have to say anything. You just gotta ignore it. If you say no, they might ask you why no, or blah blah blah, or do you know anyone? And then you're stuck in this loop. And if you do it for like hundreds of people, then you just don't have time. Like you have to stop making content because you're busy responding to people, but also like doing whatever they want you to do. It doesn't work like that. So you have to save your mental health and ignoring messages, ignoring comments sometimes is great for your mental health. Okay. It's self-preservation. What am I looking for? Self-care. Oh yeah, and do not make yourself too available. Like it's being an online personality, being an online person, being out there, basically being a public figure. Quickly, you know, it comes with responsibility. It comes also with a lot of dangers. So you got to make sure that you're not too available. People will absolutely, not necessarily like evil people or anything like that. Not necessarily people who want like to harm you or anything like that, but there is a certain amount of people that you're supposed to be exposed to. And if I know people that like just friends and families are basically taking up 24 hours of their mind. So imagine if on top of that you added a couple of thousands of strangers. So don't make yourself too available. Again, for your mental health, sometimes making yourself available is going to be the thing that destroys your mental health and lead you to burning out. You don't want to burn out. Okay. Down. Final point. Understand how the industry works. Understand the myths, the legends. You have to draw a moral line, but also stay open-minded. Okay. The secrets, everything. At some point, you're going to learn a lot about your industry that you, like the regular person, will not know about. And you're going to be exposed to some stuff that you will probably like disagree with. And it's all about you, your own principles. And if it's worth it to, you know, stick to those principles. And I know that sounds bad because everyone wants to be super virtuous and all that. But, you know, when you're working retail and your boss practically told you to scam people, you did it without hesitating. You weren't like, I will not lie to the customer. I quit. You didn't. No, you told that grandma that she needed to buy a year of PlayStation, a PlayStation Plus when she bought that PlayStation for her grandson. You'd totally like, you would totally upsell that grandma. You're like, oh, yo, you need extra controllers, grandma. Oh, what about this game? Oh, I think he's gonna like that. Oh, what about all those like gift cards? And you did it. No problem whatsoever. When you work as a barista, you're not like, hey, you guys know that if you can buy your own coffee machine, you can make this thing for like 10 times cheaper. You don't say stuff like that. You say yes. But that's also a good point, is that, you know, as a barista, people show up and they ask you for the coffee, right? People want that coffee. Most of those people actually know that if they had a coffee machine, it would be cheaper. It would be 10 times cheaper, actually, that they could probably produce a better drink with better ingredients, with healthier ingredients. But that's their routine. They want the unhealthy, expensive stuff. Give it to them, right? This is one of the things that you might discover in your industry, is that there's a lot of things that you feel like, oh, this is a big scam. Oh, this is like, oh, those influencers those influencers are evil because like they're peddling this, they're a shield for this and that, and then you become an influencer yourself and people beg you to scam them. People beg you for stuff that you felt like was immoral before, and now you have the dilemma where you're like, oh, do I do it, yes or no? And of course it sounds like you have to be in that position to really understand. You really have to be in that position. I can give you a couple examples. I know like the whole, for example, I make videos for content creators, which is easy, you know, mostly Twitch streamers and stuff, and there's a whole tech world attached to streamers because streamers need tech to stream. You don't need tech, but anyways, a lot of streamers, I would say even the majority of streamers, like first of all, don't know anything about tech in the sense of how to use it and how to utilize it and how to get the best out of it. So to them, tech is more like an accessory, like almost like a fashion or like a statement, a status symbol or anything or something like that. And companies really play on that, you know, like they'll hike up prices and make something look cool before they make something that actually sounds good or looks good or gives you good results. And people love that. Honestly, people absolutely love that. And when you come in and you're like, hey guys, you don't need to buy this thing. Oh, look at this cheaper thing. It does the same thing. People don't want the cheap stuff. How are they going to brag if they have the cheap stuff? How are they going to flex on their friends? How are they going to cosplay as a content creator if they have the no-name brand mouse and keyboard and mic and microphone and light? No, to the point that I don't want to call out people that much, but to the point where the influencers don't even use the products. They put the product in the background to show it to you so that you're more enticed to buy it with their affiliate links, of course, rather than, and then they're showing you that they don't use it. That's the wild part too. And people love that. That's the thing, is that you may think, okay, wow, influencers are evil for doing this trick. It's tricking. And it's like when you don't do it, when you try telling people, hey, no, that's a trick. They're like, no, it's not a trick. We asked them to do that. We want that. This is your industry. And this is the vast majority of your audience want you to just be, flexing money more than to teach them how to produce good audio, good video quality, lighting, or anything like that. So if it's not name brand, we're not buying it. Anyways, all that to say, there's a lot of things that we see from the outside without necessarily knowing how they really work. And the only way to know how they really work is to be in that specific position. And once we're there, we'll understand it. And of course, I wish I knew all this stuff before I started, but I don't think it would help. I think those are things that you only discover once you're in it, unless you watch my videos. In that case, I kind of skip. I kind of do a little time travel for you and just give you the tree. I give you all of the information before you start. Like that's what I was able to gather with my specific career, with my specific path. Basically, there's probably other stuff that you will discover. If there's anything I want you to take from this video, is that you need to start. You need to start, and you need to start. No half measures. You need to get into it. You need to get in the thick of it, as people say. And that's the only way for you to obtain that knowledge that you're trying to find in YouTube videos, that you're trying to find watching this video, maybe. There's no other way. Or maybe you're watching this for entertainment. In this case, I appreciate you. Anyways, that's completely fine too. It might be just interesting. You may not want to be a full-time content creator and you're watching this, and that's cool. I appreciate you. Anyways, follow me on Twitch. Also subscribe to the channel. I'll see you later.